Have you ever poured your heart and soul into a friendship or relationship only to feel like you're filling a bottomless bucket? Imagine investing time, energy, and affection into someone who treats your needs like an afterthought. Ouch, right? The truth is, unbalanced relationships can leave us feeling drained, undervalued, and frankly, a little foolish. That's where the powerful statement, "Don't make someone else a priority in your life if they don't do the same for you," comes in. This isn't about cold-hearted calculations, but about fostering healthy, reciprocal connections. Let's dive into the importance of self-respect, setting boundaries, and building relationships that empower, not deplete. Are you ready to reclaim your emotional energy and create a life filled with genuine connections? Then let's explore why prioritizing those who prioritize you is the key to unlocking true fulfillment. 1. Self-respect, the foundation of Stoicism. At the heart of Stoicism lies the principle of self-respect, a virtue that is both a starting point and a destination in the journey of personal growth. It serves as a stark reminder that your worth is not determined by how much you can pour into others, especially when it's not reciprocated, but by how well you uphold your dignity and value. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, eloquently stated, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it." And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. This insight is crucial when considering the dynamics of prioritizing someone who doesn't prioritize you. The pain or disturbance felt in such situations isn't necessarily a result of the other person's actions, but rather your interpretation and response to those actions. By choosing to prioritize yourself and your well-being, you're not only practicing self-respect, but also taking control over your judgments and, consequently, your emotional state. Self-respect in Stoicism also involves recognizing what is and isn't within your control. You cannot control the feelings, actions, or priorities of others, but you can control how you react to them and how much of yourself you're willing to invest. Investing heavily in someone who doesn't see you as a priority can lead to a depletion of your emotional and mental resources, leaving you feeling undervalued and disrespected. The Stoics would argue that this imbalance is not only unhealthy, but unnecessary. As Epictetus pointed out, we are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. By shifting your thoughts towards self-respect and mutual respect in relationships, you mitigate the risk of feeling disturbed by imbalanced dynamics. Moreover, self-respect is about setting boundaries. It's knowing when to say no, when to step back, and when to assert your own needs. It's a reflection of your self-worth and an indication that you value your peace and well-being as much as you value the presence of others in your life. In the context of Stoicism, setting boundaries is not a sign of selfishness, but of wisdom. It shows an understanding of the value of your own life and time, as well as a commitment to not letting external factors disturb your inner tranquility. In practicing self-respect, you also teach others how to treat you. When you hold yourself in high regard, you signal to those around you that your needs and feelings are important. This not only attracts people who respect and value you, but also encourages those already in your life to reflect on how they prioritize and respect you. 2. Emotional independence, the Stoic strength. The philosophy of Stoicism places great emphasis on the development of emotional independence, a quality that allows individuals to maintain their inner peace and happiness regardless of external circumstances. Stoicism encourages individuals not to anchor their emotional well-being to the actions or feelings of others. Its principle is not about isolation or indifference, but about fostering a robust inner life that is not easily swayed by external events or the behavior of others. Seneca, one of the most celebrated Stoic philosophers, offers wisdom that resonates with the concept of emotional independence. The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive. This anticipation isn't about pessimism, but about preparing oneself mentally and emotionally for any outcome, thereby minimizing the impact of disappointments. Emotional independence involves recognizing that while you may desire connection, approval, and reciprocity in relationships, your happiness and self-worth are not solely dependent on these external validations. An example of emotional independence in action can be seen in the Stoic practice of negative visualization. This involves contemplating the impermanence of things, including relationships, to appreciate them more deeply while preparing oneself for any loss or change. This practice helps to foster a balanced emotional state, where joy is not excessively tied to externalities, nor is sorrow devastatingly linked to their loss. Furthermore, emotional independence is about seeking happiness from within. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the idea that external events do not define our happiness or our essence. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By prioritizing your own emotional and mental well-being, you build a foundation of strength and resilience that allows you to navigate relationships with grace and equanimity. The pursuit of emotional independence also leads to healthier relationships. When you do not rely on others to validate your worth or happiness, you engage with them more genuinely and freely. Relationships then become a choice rather than a necessity, characterized by mutual respect and appreciation rather than neediness or dependency. 3. Reciprocity, the balance of relationships. Stoicism, often perceived as a philosophy centered on individual resilience and emotional independence, also places significant value on the quality of our relationships. Reciprocity speaks volumes about the Stoic view on reciprocity in relationships. This view is not about transactional exchanges, but about fostering relationships where mutual respect, effort, and care are fundamental. Reciprocity, in the Stoic sense, is about creating a balance that contributes to the well-being and growth of all involved. Epictetus highlighted the importance of mutual understanding and the give and take in relationships when he said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This emphasizes the Stoic ideal of being present and attentive in our interactions, suggesting that a balanced relationship is nurtured by listening, understanding, and responding to the needs of others as much as we express our own. Reciprocity is crucial because it ensures that relationships are built on a foundation of equality and mutual respect. When one person consistently makes more effort or prioritizes the other without it being reciprocated, it can lead to feelings of resentment, undervaluation, and imbalance. Such situations are antithetical to Stoic principles, which advocate for harmony and balance in all aspects of life, including interpersonal connections. The importance of reciprocity is also reflected in the Stoic practice of sympathia, the concept of mutual interdependence and the connectedness of all things in the universe. Marcus Aurelius mused on this idea, stating, "What is good for the bee is good for the hive." This metaphor can be extended to human relationships, where the well-being of each individual contributes to the health and harmony of the collective. In relationships, this means that the efforts and care one puts in should be mirrored by the other, creating a supportive and nurturing environment for both parties. Moreover, reciprocity is about the willingness to grow together. It involves not only sharing joys and successes, but also supporting each other through challenges and setbacks. This shared journey of growth and development is what builds depth and resilience in relationships, aligning closely with the Stoic pursuit of wisdom and virtue. In practical terms, practicing reciprocity means engaging in open and honest communication, showing appreciation for the other's efforts, and being willing to adjust one's own actions and expectations to maintain balance. It's about recognizing that healthy relationships are not static, but evolve through mutual effort and understanding. 5. Focusing on what you can control. A cornerstone of Stoic philosophy is the emphasis on distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not, and dedicating our energy and focus accordingly. Control touches upon the essence of Stoic wisdom, the pursuit of inner peace through the mastery of one's own actions, reactions, and emotions, rather than attempting to control external circumstances or the actions of others. Epictetus articulated this concept succinctly in the Enchiridion, Some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and in one word, whatever are not our own actions. Applying this to relationships, it becomes clear that while we can offer love, respect, and priority to others, whether or not they reciprocate is beyond our control. Focusing on what we can control means actively choosing where to invest our emotional energy. By prioritizing those who recognize and reciprocate our efforts, we align our actions with what is within our sphere of influence, our own choices and attitudes. This approach not only conserves emotional energy, but also fosters a sense of empowerment and autonomy. Moreover, this principle encourages us to reflect on and adjust our expectations. When we understand that we cannot control how others feel about us or the priority they place on us, we can adjust our expectations to avoid disappointment. Instead of being preoccupied with changing someone's behavior or feelings, Stoicism teaches us to focus on cultivating our own virtues, such as patience, understanding, and self-respect. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, offers wisdom on this point. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This realization helps to cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience as we learn to navigate relationships and life's challenges with grace and equanimity. Furthermore, focusing on what we can control helps in building healthier relationships. When we concentrate on being the best version of ourselves, we become more attractive partners, friends, and family members. We also become better equipped to attract and maintain relationships with individuals who value and prioritize us in return. This self-focus is not selfish, but a form of self-respect that allows for more balanced and fulfilling connections with others. 5. Preserving your energy. Stoicism, with its practical wisdom, teaches us the importance of preserving our energy by focusing it on actions and relationships that are truly meaningful and reciprocal. Preserving your energy highlights the necessity of being discerning about where we direct our emotional and mental resources. The Stoics believed that our energy, much like our time, is a precious and finite resource that should be used judiciously to foster our well-being and personal growth. The principle of preserving your energy is rooted in the Stoic concept of oikeiosis, which involves understanding what is natural and essential for our own development and well-being. Marcus Aurelius reflected on this when he wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This suggests that happiness and fulfillment come from within through the prudent management of our inner resources, rather than from external validation or the uneven investment in relationships where our efforts are not matched. Preserving your energy means consciously choosing to invest in relationships that are nurturing and reciprocal. It involves recognizing when a relationship is one-sided or draining and having the courage to set boundaries or redirect your focus towards people and activities that replenish rather than deplete you. This is not an act of selfishness, but a necessary practice for maintaining your mental and emotional well-being. Seneca offers guidance on this matter. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. Applying this wisdom, we see the importance of quality over quantity in our relationships and endeavors. Investing your energy wisely means nurturing connections that are genuinely enriching and stepping back from those that consistently leave you feeling undervalued or overextended. In relationships, preserving your energy means engaging in a balanced exchange where both parties benefit and grow. 6. Self-improvement, a Stoic's goal. The pursuit of self-improvement is a central theme in Stoicism. Stoicism teaches that the essence of personal growth lies in focusing on our own character and virtues, rather than external validations or imbalanced relationships. This focus on self-improvement is not only about personal betterment, but also about contributing positively to the lives of those around us. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." This succinct advice encapsulates the Stoic approach to self-improvement, actionable virtue. Instead of dwelling on or lamenting the lack of reciprocity in relationships, Stoicism encourages us to direct our energy towards becoming more virtuous, resilient, and emotionally independent individuals. This inward focus ensures that our sense of self-worth and happiness is not contingent on the actions or feelings of others. Self-improvement in Stoicism involves the cultivation of 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. By focusing on these virtues, we develop a robust moral character that enables us to navigate life's challenges and relationships with integrity and equanimity. For instance, wisdom involves learning from our experiences and applying that knowledge to make balanced decisions, including recognizing when a relationship is not conducive to our well-being and growth. Moreover, the Stoic path to self-improvement is inherently proactive. It's about taking responsibility for our own development and happiness. Epictetus highlighted this when he said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By prioritizing our own growth, we assert control over our lives, making choices that align with our values and contribute to our advancement. The principle also underscores the importance of self-reliance in the journey of self-improvement. While Stoics value relationships and community, they also advocate for an independence of spirit that allows one to find contentment and fulfillment from within. This self-reliance is not about isolation, but about ensuring that our happiness and self-esteem are not unduly influenced by the fluctuating dynamics of our relationships. In the context of relationships, focusing on self-improvement means we are less likely to tolerate or remain in situations where our efforts and affections are not reciprocated. This not only protects our well-being, but also sets a standard for what we expect and accept in our interactions with others. It fosters relationships that are built on mutual respect, growth, and understanding. 7. Authentic connections. The Stoic principle of forming authentic connections underscores the importance of seeking and nurturing relationships based on genuine understanding, shared values, and mutual respect. Authentic connections are those in which individuals can be truly themselves, without the need for pretense or the fear of judgment. In the context of Stoicism, such relationships are invaluable because they provide a space for the practice and exchange of virtuous behaviors, such as honesty, integrity, and kindness. Marcus Aurelius, reflecting on the nature of human relations, asserted, "Men exist for the sake of one another." This statement highlights the Stoic belief in the importance of community and the value of relationships that are rooted in a mutual commitment to the good. The pursuit of authentic connections requires a level of self-awareness and self-improvement that is central to Stoic philosophy. By understanding ourselves and working continuously to embody Stoic virtues, we attract individuals who resonate with our values and with whom we can share a meaningful and reciprocal bond. This alignment of values and virtues is the foundation of authentic connections, as it ensures that relationships are not merely based on surface-level interactions, but on a deep, mutual appreciation of each other's character and aspirations. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches the importance of being present and engaged in our interactions with others. Epictetus emphasized the value of attention and intention in relationships. Be present and embrace the moment with the person you're with. This presence is not only about physical availability, but also about being emotionally and mentally engaged. Authentic connections thrive on this quality of presence, as it allows for genuine understanding and empathy. Authentic connections are reciprocal. They involve a balance of giving and receiving, where both parties feel valued and supported. This balance is not about keeping score, but about ensuring that the relationship is nourishing for both individuals. 8. Avoiding unnecessary suffering. The Stoic tenet of avoiding unnecessary suffering is intricately linked to the principle, don't make someone else a priority in your life if they don't do the same for you. This guidance is not about shunning relationships or hardening oneself against potential emotional pain, but about recognizing and stepping away from dynamics that cause needless distress. Stoicism teaches that much of our suffering arises not from external events themselves, but from our perceptions and reactions to these events. By applying this wisdom to our relationships, we can mitigate much of the suffering that comes from unreciprocated investment and attachment. Stoicism encourages us to examine our emotional responses to being undervalued or not prioritized in relationships. The Stoic approach involves questioning the value we place on reciprocity from others and whether our happiness should hinge on their actions or perceptions of us. By shifting our focus from external validation to internal contentment and self-validation, we can significantly reduce our emotional suffering. Avoiding unnecessary suffering also entails understanding and accepting the impermanence of relationships. Just as the Stoics remind us to appreciate the fleeting nature of life and the world around us, so too should we recognize that relationships may change or evolve. Marcus Aurelius pondered this transience, advising, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." This acceptance doesn't mean resignation, but rather embracing the present moment and the current state of our relationships without clinging to them out of fear of loss or change. Another aspect of avoiding unnecessary suffering in relationships is practicing detachment. This Stoic practice does not mean indifference, but rather maintaining a healthy emotional distance that allows us to stay balanced and content regardless of others' actions. By cultivating a sense of detachment, we free ourselves from the tumultuous cycle of expectation and disappointment. This enables us to love and value others while remaining anchored in our sense of self, reducing our susceptibility to emotional turmoil. In essence, the Stoic principle of avoiding unnecessary suffering guides us to engage in relationships with wisdom, self-respect, and emotional intelligence. By understanding and applying this principle, we can navigate our connections with others more mindfully, reducing our emotional suffering and enhancing our overall well-being. This approach not only benefits us individually, but also fosters healthier, more balanced relationships based on mutual respect and genuine affection. 9. Living according to nature. The Stoic principle of living according to nature emphasizes the importance of aligning our actions and relationships with our essential nature and the nature of the world around us. Stoicism teaches that living in harmony with nature involves understanding our place in the world and acting in accordance with our rational nature and the social bonds that tie us together. This understanding encourages us to form and maintain relationships that are natural, reciprocal, and grounded in virtue. According to Stoic philosophy, humans are rational and social beings meant to live in communities and form connections with others. However, these connections should not compromise our rational nature or our pursuit of virtue. Marcus Aurelius, reflecting on this, stated, "Everything harmonizes with me, which is harmonious to thee, O universe. Nothing for me is too early or too late, which is in due time for thee. Everything is fruit to me, which thy seasons bring, O nature." This perspective highlights the Stoic belief in the importance of living in accord with the natural order, including the natural give and take inherent in healthy relationships. Living according to nature means recognizing and accepting the inherent need for mutual support and kindness in our relationships. It involves understanding that just as we are part of the larger cosmos, our relationships are part of the complex web of human interactions. This understanding encourages us to seek balance in our relationships, ensuring that our efforts to support and prioritize others are matched by their efforts to do the same for us. This reciprocal dynamic is natural and fosters a healthy, supportive community that benefits all its members. 10. The power of letting go. The Stoic principle of letting go is profoundly intertwined with the adage, "Don't make someone else a priority in your life if they don't do the same for you." This wisdom underscores the Stoic virtue of understanding and accepting the limits of our control, particularly in the domain of human relationships. Letting go, in the Stoic sense, is not an act of resignation, but a powerful affirmation of our ability to choose our reactions and to focus our energies where they can be most effectively and meaningfully applied. It's about recognizing when our efforts to maintain a relationship are not reciprocated and choosing to redirect our focus towards what truly enriches our lives. The Stoics, including Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, consistently emphasize the importance of distinguishing between what is within our control and what lies beyond it. This simple yet profound distinction is at the heart of Stoic philosophy and is particularly relevant to the process of letting go. When we cling to relationships or expectations that are not reciprocated, we invest our energies in aspects of life that are beyond our control, leading to frustration and suffering. Letting go, according to Stoicism, involves a deep understanding of the impermanence of external conditions, including relationships. The power of letting go also lies in its ability to free us from the chains of unmet expectations and the pain of unreciprocated efforts. By releasing our grip on outcomes we cannot control, we open ourselves to the flow of life, ready to embrace new opportunities for growth and connection. This does not mean we become indifferent to others, but that we approach our relationships with a sense of detachment and equanimity, appreciating them for what they are without becoming overly attached to a specific outcome. Finally, the Stoic principle of letting go teaches us the value of forgiveness and understanding, both towards ourselves and others. Holding on to resentment or bitterness towards those who do not reciprocate our efforts only serves to prolong our suffering. By practicing forgiveness, we let go of negative emotions that weigh us down, making room for peace and contentment. This forgiveness extends to ourselves as well, as we learn to release self-criticism or regret for investing in relationships that did not unfold as we hoped. So if you have ever felt like you were pouring into a bottomless bucket, giving your all to someone who seems to hardly notice your efforts, remember, this isn't about assigning blame or harboring resentment. It's about awakening to the power of reciprocal love and respect. It's about setting boundaries that honor your worth and encourage others to do the same. It's about the courage to prioritize your well-being and the wisdom to invest in relationships that truly matter. As we wrap up this exploration, let us carry forward the lessons learned with a renewed sense of purpose. Let's commit to practicing self-respect, seeking emotional independence, and nurturing connections that are genuinely reciprocal. Let us embrace the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, guiding our actions and interactions. Are you ready to reclaim your emotional energy and create a life filled with genuine connections? The key lies in prioritizing those who prioritize you, setting healthy boundaries, and fostering relationships that empower rather than deplete. Thank you for watching. See you next time.